Welcome to the new Extrarunde of Biathlon with Ron and Hendrik. Today, the interview with Tarjei Boe, the youngest total score winner of all time, his drive to continue doing biathlon, and will he challenge his brother for the yellow bib next season?
Today it's Tarjei Boe, live from the training camp in Lavasse, Italy, and I think I don't have to tell you that he's one of the most successful biathletes of all time. So, quite a big honor to have him here on our show.
Yeah, absolutely. A really high pleasure for us. Yeah, he's decorated with several gold medals and he also won the overall World Cup in 2011.
Yeah, right. It was right before Martin Fourcade started to have his winning streak in biathlon. And yeah, today we know that Martin Fourcade is surrounded by the Boe brothers. Yeah, Tarjei in 2011 and Johannes in 2019 the first time. But we also have to say, Hendrik, that Tarjei is still missing an individual gold medal at the Olympics. And that might be the goal for the next season, to catch that gold. And of course, that was one of our questions.
Yes, Ron, but I think he's not alone with his goal in 2022.
Oh, yes.
But when it's not working in 2022, maybe he has the chance to be one of the winners in Antolz 26.
Yeah, I mean, there are some rumors that he'll go on until Antolz 26, but we also asked him about that, of course. So we will see if the next year is his last chance to get an Olympic gold medal in an individual race, Hendrik. But I think he's always one of the favorites, right? So especially after his
definitely, yes.
3 victories last season, he's even more favorite than before. So yeah, I think he has quite good chances to grab one of the medals or maybe also a gold medal. But as you said, it's not so easy. So let's see.
Yeah, and it was quite funny with Tarjei, as always, when you see him on the television or something. So the same for us. And do you remember his answer to our last question?
Of course. I mean, let's hope that his brother won't hear that last question. But yeah, I think it was also super funny. And yeah, Hendrik, so let's don't talk anymore and let's jump right into the interview with Tarjei Boe and listen what he said to us. And yeah, we wish you, as always, a lot of fun with this interview.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, Tarjei. So the next Norwegian biathlete in our show, and that means another interview in English for us. But I think with you, we could have also tried it in German, right?
No, I'm not. I'm not so good at it. But I have a deal with a German television that every time I win, it's not so often. But then I have to talk German. But if I'm second or third, I can choose my language. So that's the deal I have. I don't know if I have the same deal with you guys.
Good to know. Good to know.
Did you learn German in school or is it self-taught?
Yeah, I learned it in school. It was my third language after Norwegian, English, and then in 8th grade.
Oh, yeah.
It was German. And I had it for 5 years in school, actually. But you only learn the basics, you learn the grammar, but you don't learn to talk so much. So for biathlon language is okay, but when you start to talk about other things, it's really difficult because you miss a lot of words, but you have the standard words for biathlon and sports in your vocabulary.
Yeah, so we should maybe do a deal when you win the overall World Cup next time. You also have to do a German interview here with us.
Yeah, if I win the overall World Cup, I can do whatever you want. No problem.
Okay, Tarjei. So let's jump back to your first years in international biathlon. You were quite successful in your junior years and even more successful in your first World Cup seasons. You won the gold at the Olympics in 2010 with the relay, and in 2010-11 you became the youngest male overall World Cup winner of all time at the age of 22. So it all went very, very quickly for you. And at that time, did you expect such a fast rise of yourself in professional biathlon?
To be honest, no. I think no athlete can expect such a big improvement from even if I was at the relay team in Vancouver. I was not one of the 15 best athletes in the world. But what happened through that summer and autumn until the 10-11 season was quite a big step, and I couldn't imagine to take such a big step. But I think I came into the team at the right time with the right athletes, and I learned a lot from them, watching Ole Einar and Emil and the other guys. I'm a quick learner, so if I train with the best ones, I took a lot of their skills and developed it also further. Of course, it was not as expected from anyone, I guess. But you have to take the chance when you got it. And I'm lucky now that I did complete the job that season.
Yeah, and I could imagine winning at such a young age makes you think you're maybe the benchmark for the next years for every other biathlete. Do you remember how you felt in 2011, especially mentally after that title?
Yeah, it was a little special season because when you prepare for the season, your goal is to take your first podium or maybe work towards your first victory, because it was other giants in our national team that took all the focus and had the best results. So even if I were fighting with them and beating them sometimes during the preparations, I still was quite humble because I knew that it was another game when the winter season started. But suddenly I got my first victory, and then I suddenly had the yellow jersey, and then suddenly all my goals changed rapidly, from fighting for my first podium, earning my first victory, and then suddenly my goal changed to keep this yellow jersey until the end of the season. So it was a quite big mental game and change during the season. But I think in biathlon you have two possibilities to reach your goals or to have success or to win races. One thing is to be really attacking. Really, you have this young energy that you think you can beat everyone mentality, or you have to be more like an experienced athlete who can win races because of all your experience throughout your career. And I think that my successful season came out of the first part, because I was really attacking the season, and I challenged the other guys, especially on the shooting range, with my fast standing shooting and things like this. And I think people got a little surprised by that. and I think if you look at the German biathlon, for example, the German girls are used to be at their top level when they're really young. But on the men's side, it was maybe not as usual. But everyone says that you have to be at your best when you're 28, 30 years old. But I think you never know when it happens. So when you have your season, you just have to take the opportunity, because you may never get it again.
Tarjei, the following years perhaps were tough for you, with a lot of ups and downs. You suffered from many illnesses, for nearly every season until 2019. So that's a long time. Do you have any explanations for those illnesses in those years?
I think the trouble started actually when I had this, I don't know what it's called in English, but or in German either. But it was in 2012. It's called tvar in Norwegian. I don't know if you know this.
No, absolutely not.
It's a bacterial infection that's it can be quite a problem if you don't find out what it is early enough. I was quite lucky to find it out early enough, but still, when I had this trouble for months in 2012, then after that, in a lot of years, I had almost no resistance towards other viruses, and I got sick all the time because I felt my immune system was sort of out of work. It was destroyed after this big trouble that really affected my body. So I think that's the main reason. I was out, and then my immune system didn't work as well as it should the years to come. And it was quite challenging because I couldn't do what I wanted. And every time I got some troubles, especially in the autumn when it got a little colder and when you travel a lot during the winter time, I always got sick when I was at the airports and stuff like that. So it was quite tough mentally. You felt like it was not fair. You can get sick sometimes. All athletes do, but I felt that this was not fair play, because if other had the same troubles as me, I think it would be another ball game.
Mhm. So how did you get rid of them in the last 2 seasons?
Yeah, I think this, of course, it's easy to say that I've had troubles for 6 or 7 seasons, but yeah, it was a little up and down, and some years were quite good, of course. But after when you get the stamp that you have some health issues and you're sick, people are really watching and following you and always commenting if you're out of the race or something like that. But the last 2-3 seasons, I felt like my immune system is just so much better. And why, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I train a little less than I did before, so I'm not at the edge pushing my energy battery flat every time. So I try to be a little smarter and to keep my energy level a little higher during the training season. I guess that's part of the key, but I also feel like I had a lot of years that I had to build up my immune system. And when you do sports and you push your body really hard, I don't think it's not the best way to build yourself up, It's like 2 steps forward and 1 step back all the time.
Yeah, it's also stress, right? But I think as an athlete, you are always searching for that so-called needle in the haystack, when there's something wrong. And sometimes that could drive you crazy, but how was it in your case? Did you search for that one thing that was wrong with you?
Yeah, I've searched everywhere, and people just want your best, so you get a lot of tips and tricks from everywhere, but it's not so easy for people who doesn't have those problems to have the answers either, because for them they can't relate to the problems at all. I know I discussed this once with Simon Schemp, who had sort of the same career as me, both when you look at the results, but also the problems throughout the years.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
And we sort of understood each other when we talked about it, because people think that sometimes you are doing everything wrong, to end up in these situations. But I think some athletes are just stronger than others in some parts, and we all got our strong sides. And I've had some troubles with my immune system and how to call it, the lungs and the throat and these standard things, and that's my weakness. And some athletes are always get an injury or have problems with their back or whatever, and that's their weaknesses. So I think we are just a little we have the car dealer gave us some cards, and I got some weak ones there, but I guess I have some strong ones too.
Yeah, for sure. Did you think of quitting in those times?
No. I never thought of quitting. That's not my mentality. It's not in my DNA at all. I think that's maybe my strongest side, that my will is quite strong, and I know that if I prepare right and get to train as I want, I will be fighting for the podiums every time. So that was sort of my motivation also, that I knew that if I just got rid of these problems, I will be there fighting for the victories again. And I think it's easier for an athlete who has shown his potential than an athlete who has never had a chance, because they don't quite know their potential on the good days.
Yeah, it's also that you're not the guy that would quit. And I mean, it was quite good that you kept going, because you also managed to win 2 individual world championship titles in the following years. And the last season, 2021, was your second best season so far. You won another Mustard Globe, or your first Mustard Globe, but another small globe. And you had 3 individual victories, and we saw that your skiing increased a lot in the last 2 seasons, what is quite unusual at such a high age. So why do you think is that?
I think when the level in this sport has increased a lot also throughout the years. If you look at those athletes fighting now, it's really high level. The shooting and the skiing has never been better. So I think it's always when you are getting into your 30s, people start to think that you are getting old, or that
Yes.
you're not capable of continuing with the young guys.
Yeah.
But I think we have a sport. If you look at all endurance sport, some of your golden ages are in the first years of your 30s. Just look at Tiril now, Tiril Ekhoff. She's 31 years old, and she's never been better. So same with Marte at the same age. And even if I won the overall when I was 22 years old, I think in general the golden years for endurance sport is from maybe 27 to 32, 33 years old. So, and also we have to shoot, you have the experience on the shooting range. Like I said 5 minutes ago, you can win races in two types of to make full attack, or you can use your years and history and learn from your mistakes, and then also solve the shooting with your experience. So I think we have a sport that all athletes can win. So if you look compared to Olainer, he quit when he was 43. So I guess I'm still young compared to that.
Yeah, that's true. And you said you train less now. So did you change anything else in your training that might be beneficial for you?
No, I train less. I have more focus on recovery. I think in general, all athletes, or not all, but I think a lot of athletes train hard enough and enough hours throughout the years. I don't think that's the main issue while an athlete is not getting out the best potential. I think people relax not enough and haven't enough focus on recovering. So that's been my main focus the last 2 years, to how to say it, to put your money, in a Norwegian phrase, to put your money in the bank, securing that all your hard quality training, you put it in the bank, so you have them to take out again when you come to the winter and the most important races are on the list.
Yeah, and you also won the cross-country competition in Norway on roller skis 2 weeks ago, so you seem to be on the right path again, I think. But what are your goals in training this summer for the next season? Yeah,
my goals for training, I think I have something to improve, of course, but in general, I want to continue the job as I've done the last couple of years. I found my way again, and I think I've solved it right. If you look at the results from the winter, I guess that's been my issue my whole career, but also you see the last couple of years. The place I have the most to improve is at the shooting range, at the standing shooting. So that's the key for me to take another step, is to increase the percentage on the standing shooting. I made some steps this year. I shot more clean series in the end of the competitions, which resulted in some victories this year. But in general, I need to continue in that way. If you look at the best athletes the last years, with my brother and Marta and now Sturla especially, deliver quite high percentage on the standing shooting. So I have to improve there to follow them.
And what do you think is still possible for an athlete like you, for an experienced athlete like you, when it comes to increasing performance?
Yeah, I think shooting is easier to improve than skiing. I think skiing is following quite much your talent and your genes, and if you're a born natural skier, you are quite strong throughout your whole career. And I guess it's a little bit same at the shooting range. It's also talent there, but I think also you can compensate with hard work and also confidence, because shooting is a lot of confidence. So it's easier to shoot well when you've had some good results and some good competitions in your past. And I think that's the key, not only to think about training more or to shoot more, but also to work with your mental strength and to work with their confidence, because I think that's the key for the standing shooting when the pressure is quite high in the end of the races.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the upcoming winter. Tarjei, what are your main goals for next season?
Yeah, I think I can speak for the whole field that I think the Olympics will be the main goal for everyone. I can't see
for sure
another goal that can be higher. Of course, there is a yellow jersey that will be handed out also. But that's not my goal at all. My goal is to have success in the Olympics. And it's quite demanding this year. We already know it's at 1,850 meters high.
Yes.
We heard some rumors that will be maybe like in Pyeongchang with quite strong wind conditions and stuff. So I think it will be quite challenging again, like it was in Pyeongchang. So we just hope for fair competitions. The best ones will win, and I hope I can be one of the best ones.
So are you planning to skip a World Cup in favor of the Olympics?
I think I will, and I think we as a team will do it. I guess that one of the World Cups in January may be without our team. So you have to make a plan A, but you also have to, follow your instincts and follow your rhythm with the results and the feeling you get through the preseason and the first World Cups. So we have to see, but I think it's not the best solution to race every race before the Olympics.
But also might depend on the overall World Cup fight, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's a little challenging, especially for the ones who are fighting in the top, already this year. If I came to January, we already saw then that it was a fight between Johannes and Sturla. So most of the years you find out throughout January which positions you're fighting for. Some changes can happen, but in general you can race December, and then you can look where you are and then also adjust your plans from that. But the best would be that some of the strongest athletes were fighting so hard for the yellow jersey that they didn't prioritize the Olympics at the fullest, but because then it could be the chance to get in front of them when the medals are awarded. If you look throughout the 10 years, all the overall total winners are also successful in the championship. So if you're good, you are good enough. But it's a little extra this year since the Olympics is in the altitude. Then the preparations also has to be a little different than other years.
Yeah, Tarjei, and you said in an interview you want to retire in 2026 after Antholz because your brother will retire after the Olympics or that season. And is that true? Will we see you until 2026 in biathlon?
I don't think I've said that. I think my brother said that he wanted to continue until Olympics in Antholz, but I don't think I will continue as long as that. I focus now on the Olympics, and I think that's a little too early because I feel quite motivated, and some of the seasons I missed with my sickness problems, I guess it added some years to my career, maybe. So now I feel motivated and strong. So a couple of 2-3 more seasons until maybe the World Champs in Novo Mesto in 24 will be my end. But you never know. You make a plan and you take it from there. But I want to watch Johannes from the ring side for a couple of years before he quits. So I can't follow him. I have to quit a couple of years before so I can enjoy my brother from the stands.
Yeah, okay, so let's see. I mean, you got a lot of young competitors in your own team in Norway, and they all want to compete in the World Cup. So is there also, with increasing age, a little fear of getting overtaken by the younger guys?
No, to be honest, I have a lot of respect for those guys on the team. And also on our B team, there are a lot of attacking younger guys. But I feel quite confident in my place. But I also respect their skills, and now I think we have a quite good mix with some older athletes like me and the younger guys like Sturla and Johannes Dahle. And I think we can learn from each other, especially what Sturla did on the shooting range. And you see Johannes Dahle with his incredible skiing speed. High potential there. It's also good for me to have them on the team. I can learn a lot from them. They are better than me in a lot of things, and I'm better than them in some things, so we can learn from each other. So I think we have a perfect combo of athletes, and I think it's easier to keep the tradition going on as the strongest national team on the men's side, because we have this continuing, always going on. We just learn from each other, and we have a tradition of having quite good results, and we don't need to speak so much about it because it just comes natural for the younger guys who enter the team.
Yeah, I mean, you seem a little bit like...
I can...
No, go on.
No, it was nothing. No, it was nothing. I just want to say that it's quite interesting to see, for example, Sturla, when he came into the team, that it was quite cool to watch the fight between my brother and him, because throughout the last season, they were quite opposite athletes, the fastest skier and the best shooter against each other. And they met always at the same place on the result list, but they had totally different ways to get there. And I think that's why biathlon is so popular, and why we love it to fight, and why people love to watch it, because everything can happen and there are so many ways to success.
Yeah, so you also seem to be a little bit like the last man standing. If we look at the biathlete of your era, like Fokacem, Pfeiffer, Landertinger are all gone now. So Tarjei, what is your drive to continue doing biathlon? Or what gets you out of bed every day on the roller tracks and so on?
That's a good question. I haven't thought so much about it. It just comes natural to me to still improve, I think as long as you feel like you can improve your skills and improve your results as an athlete, you get quite motivated, because you put a lot of effort in it, and then you want some results on the other side. And I've been quite lucky to achieve that the last years. And then the motivation also comes naturally, because if you look at my brother and Marta, who were the best athletes for the last 7 or 8 years. The last years, I came closer each season, a little closer. Even if they were better than me, I came a little closer, and I could fight with them, and I could beat them sometimes. And this winter also, I got 3 victories again. And that's sort of a gasoline on the fire, It keeps my flame burning towards the legs. So I think development is the key. You feel like you can improve, and this feeling to cross the finish line first is what drives me, and the feeling of achieving that again, coming alone over the finish line this winter, was quite satisfying actually.
Yeah, I could imagine that. But is winning the total score again still a goal for you in your last seasons now?
No, it's not a goal. If I could choose, of course, it would be my main goal. I think an Olympic individual gold medal I would put on top, because I haven't achieved that. But to be honest, I think the most difficult part is to win the total score. I've been in the game for 12, 13 years, and I can say that to win the total score is quite most demanding thing to do, because you have to deliver at such a high level in all races, both on the shooting range and the track. So I think that would be really, really cool to achieve again. But you have to be a little honest with yourself. I haven't fought for that in many years, and I have to come a little closer before I can say that's a goal, because it would be quite disrespect to Sturla and Johannes.
Okay, Tarjei. So our last question always is, imagine you had a big billboard in a big city where everyone can read it. Which message would you write on that billboard? And it shouldn't be a commercial.
I should write it. What stands there?
Yes, you can tell us.
Okay. It would be a picture of two brothers, and the headline was the younger one still wants to be like his older brother.
Okay, good to know. And I think that's perfect to conclude this episode, Tarjei. And let's hope your younger brother won't hear that. But I think he'll understand that.
Absolutely.
I hope so.
But Tarjei, tell our audience where they can find you if they want to know or see more about you.
Where they can find me?
Yeah, like Instagram, not at home in Norway, so...
like that. I see. If you want to follow me, you can find me on Instagram, Tarjei Boe, or Boe, as the nickname says. And there you can find a lot of hard training and also some funny moments. So take a look.
Yeah, exactly. And thank you very much for your time, Tarjei. It was a lot of fun, and we wish you the best, especially for your shooting, and stay healthy.
Yes.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Nice to be here. Thank you.
We hope you liked the interview with Tarjei Boe. If you want to know more about Tarjei, follow him on Instagram or Facebook, but also follow us on Instagram and share this episode with your friends. All of the links can be found in the show notes. Thank you very much, and till the next time.